John Frederick. He's America's Godzilla of truth. All week long, he's world-renowned for his proficient proclivity to prophesy the people's political picks with pinpoint precision.
Yeah, baby.
Then on the weekends, he gets with the guys that are pretty wise, and Godzilla wins. Godzilla wins, the sports picking show for winning dough. Money lines, parlays, over-under, the best plays. You choose the game, Godzilla picks the winners. Get expert analysis, exclusive insights, and have a little fun. When the game is on your mind and money's on the line, Godzilla Wins is your guide to picking winners. Godzilla Wins on the screens of your TV and favorite devices, commanding radio airwaves far and wide. Before you make that play, hear what the Godzilla crew has to say. Presented by WestVirginiaSportsNation.com, it's time for Godzilla Wins, all across the John Fredericks Media Network. Yeah.
For entertainment purposes only.
Good morning, y'all. Welcome to the Godzilla Wins Saturday Pick Show. I'm Mitch Rogers. Glad to have you back as we get set for another full day of games and picks. I don't even know what day it is. We're on like day 3 of the holiday. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Big thanks to our sponsors, WVSportsNation.com, WVSportsNation.com, and WV The Torch for supporting the show. Remember, this is a gambling show, but it's for entertainment purposes only. If you have any gambling issues, please dial 1-800-GAMBLER. And if you have a gambling problem, that 1-800-GAMBLER is 1-800-426-2537. That's Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, and Wyoming. 1-800-327-5050 or visit gamblinghelpline.ma.org in Massachusetts. Call 877-G-HOPE-NY-text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP in Arizona, 1-800-522-4700 in Kansas and New Hampshire, 888-789-777. Visit ccpg.org in Connecticut, 1-800-BETS-OFF in Indiana, or visit opgr.org in Oregon. All right. I don't know how anyone even, like, if you're still listening after that, I thank you so much. I want to bring in our host, Trent Connor and Logan Powell. Welcome to the show. Did you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving? Trent, how was your Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I had a great Thanksgiving. We did dinner the day before, dinner the second on Thanksgiving. So got my fair share of turkey going around. So it's pretty good.
Logan, are you all turkeyed out? You tryptophaned up?
Yep, same thing. Wednesday and then also Thursday. Did both with the family, different sides of family on both days. It was good getting to see all the family and just hanging out and relaxing.
Yeah, that's the same thing. We, for some reason, my company did a potluck on Tuesday, so then you're already eating turkey like 2 days in advance, and then Thanksgiving is one of our favorite holidays. I kind of hold off my family for Christmas. Like, you're not allowed to put all the Christmas stuff up until yesterday, and yesterday became like, now it's full Christmas. I've got 10 and 7-year-old daughters, so we've got the elf on the shelf flying around, and all that stuff there. The elf didn't even exist when I was a kid, so I don't know. Now the kids have the elf, but we've got a jam-packed show. In the first hour, if this is the first time you've been with this show, or you're just starting to jump along with us, the first hour we tend to focus on the college picks and so forth. We may be a little bit mixed around a little bit. We're going to recap the Thursday night or the Thursday football games, because the football over the holiday was tremendous. Yesterday with the college football, and also one NFL game, and then on Thursday, obviously, you had 3 NFL games. Let's get to that. Those Thursday games were amazing. Like, we talked about this on our show. And in the second hour of the show, we do more of the NFL picks, and we will do that. But considering the week was a little bit different with the holiday. But we talk about how there's like a team of the week or a team of the moment. Feels like Green Bay Packers at the beginning of the season were considered the best team in football. The most solid built. You make the trade for Malik, and then all of a sudden you look like the best team ever. But then they kind of stuttered a little bit, stalled out a little bit. People are then questioning if Jordan Love is a great quarterback. But man, Green Bay beat Detroit 31-24 when Detroit needed this win more than anything, Logan. And Jordan Love looked the part again, just like he went to early season form, 4 touchdown passes. Dontavian Wicks stepped up in a big way with 2 touchdowns and 94 yards. But Logan, what do you think about this Green Bay team, and what about the Detroit Lions season that could be, in disarray now?
And yeah, I mean, for the Lions particularly, I mean, their season is not over by any means. They're still 7-5. They're still sitting fine in the division, but they certainly have some problems. They're not the Lions they were last year. I think that they're really missing, a key piece of their offense and just that continuity. I mean, Ben Johnson, it was huge for their offense. I mean, he was more than just a play caller. He was their offensive identity. I mean, he turned Jared Goff into who he was today, and then that run game was certainly a lot more efficient. Now, I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs has kind of transformed into a top-tier back this year. However, I feel like with Ben Johnson, the run game was just a little more smoother than it is this year. I think that they were able to find a spark, at certain times with their offense, but it hasn't been consistent. But for the Packers, I mean, they're hitting their stride at the right time. Their defense is probably top 2, top 3 in the league. And now that their offense, Jordan Love, is starting to get more consistent, yeah, they're a pretty scary team. The one thing that does concern me is the fact that it's Jordan Love, because when you watch him play, he is throwing off his back foot every single time, and he just launches up. He has a very, very high arc on the ball. So I don't know. He worries me at times, but when he's on, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He has some of the best deep passing game. I really like their receiving core. I was talking to my family about this, the day of. I mean, they don't have like a star receiver, but they have just a really good slew of receivers that can get the job done. So, I mean, they have a lot of weapons, and I think that if they can continue to hit their stride, they can make some noise in the playoffs. And I think that they've been building up to that in these previous years. But I think now that they're finally putting all of those pieces together and finally, doing enough to make a serious run, because, I mean, let's face it, really right now, the NFC is looking like it's the Rams to lose. However, the Packers, they're no slouch, and I think with their defense, especially if Jordan Love can take care of the football, any day that they can also make a run.
Yeah, and look at this, Trent. I mean, all of a sudden, Detroit, finally, they're good again, and then their window now has become so small because the NFC North has become so good. I mean, Chicago Bears are leading the division. Obviously, I mean, the Lions just dropped to a 7-5 record, but that record might not get them into the playoffs. And that loss to the Commanders last year in the NFC title game just bears just so much more meaning now, because who knows if you get another chance out there. All these teams are up and coming, and you lost Ben Johnson, just like Logan said. And the play calling just does seem just a little bit out of whack when you're when you're looking at this team. I may have lost Trent. He might come back. John Fredericks is back in on the show. Trent, are you still here?
No, we lost him.
We lost Trent. Hey, John, John, welcome to the show. I hope you had a very happy Thanksgiving. Despite me not liking that college very much, I like that sweatshirt. That is very sharp. It's very nice. I hope you enjoyed some wonderful turkey and some all the stuffing and stuff.
Well, listen, happy Thanksgiving to all. It's been I took a few days off. I was off since Tuesday afternoon, so got some sleep. In fact, today I took my REM sleep last night. I got 9 hours and 45 minutes. I can't remember the last time I slept that long. I actually got up 15 minutes ago. That's why I'm late. So thank you. Actually, 15 minutes, and just came over here to the studio. But listen, thanks for all you do, Mitch. You're a phenomenal host. You make this show so special for us. I really enjoy your hosting and your analysis, and I just want to thank you and all of our team. And I hope that everybody had a very happy Thanksgiving, as we did. Joe's home, so I got my little guy back. So we've been doing family stuff, watching movies and playing cards and Monopoly and things of that nature. So, it's just good to see him after Christmas is over and that they go back to school. That's it. We see him for 5 minutes, after a game. That's about the end of it. So it's going to be a fun season for Maryland.
No,
they got a really good team.
No, hey, and thank you, and I appreciate this opportunity, giving a 48-year-old guy another shot at hosting some radio shows and stuff. And it's been an honor, and it's been a pleasure, and from the whole team and all of our listeners and viewers, I just love it. And you're right, the kids being back home, and right, I have 10 and 7-year-old daughters, so I'm just trying to embrace it, because I know I can tell how fast it's going to go. You blink and it's 10 years. You blink, it's 5 years. So, yeah, I'm just going to embrace it and move forward. But lots of good football. I mean, sometimes when traditionally, especially in the 90s or especially in the 2000s when Dallas was bad as well, Detroit and Dallas, you'd be like, why do they get a Thursday? Why do they get the Thanksgiving game? We need to get these bums off the TV. Well, now they have good squads. Dallas is one of the number one stories in all of football, and the games were amazing. We're talking about Green Bay and Detroit, and all of a sudden Detroit, John, might be on the outside looking in. They were trying to go on a dynastic run, and now maybe their window was only this couple years, considering how good the rest of the division is. And you let Ben Johnson roll into your division and take the Chicago Bears, who have never had a 4,000-yard passer, and that's going to be eclipsed, in the next year or two.
There is a lot to take from the last 2 days of games. I don't know what to say, right? I think you're all going to agree with me. There's a lot to take, and let me run down my take. First of all, every underdog won. So if you were betting the favorites, you went 0-4, and I bet 3 of the 4 favorites. So it gets you there. I'm not exactly on a roll. Coupled with the fact that I bet Texas A&M last night and lost that. So I got to get out today, right? I got to get out of the woods I'm in. But here's my take. We started this season, and everybody's chic pick was Lions and Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Neither of them are going to make neither of them are going to make the playoffs, let alone the Super Bowl. They're not making the playoffs. That's number one. I got like a number of takes. Number one, Philadelphia's done. That team right now is a fraud. The way they got manhandled yesterday at home after blowing that ridiculous lead after the first quarter in Dallas where they were up 21-0. I mean, they basically, what they scored last night, they scored a garbage touchdown at the end. You take that out, they've scored a touchdown in 7 quarters. I mean, they don't move the ball. This is the other thing. Jalen Hurts missed passes right and left.
Yep.
Their defensive line is decimated. They couldn't stop the run. They're at home. They get to me, that game was a blowout. The score didn't indicate the way the Bears manhandled them on both sides of the ball. It was a clown show as far as I'm concerned. They're frauds. The Lions are not going to make the playoffs either. This team is just not that good either. I mean, their defense was horrible. I mean, the Packers, that game, not as close as the score, right? I mean, when you were watching game, did at any point in that game you ever thought the Lions were going to win? Really? If you're not just a diehard Lions fan, say you bet them like me. Any point in that game you thought they were going to win? No.
No, and when Detroit would lose a player, they've been injured this last couple of years throughout this kind of run up to their dominance they've had the last couple of years. So when you lose Amon St. Brown, yeah, that is tough, but they've been able to bounce back from those things, Logan, and they could not bounce back at all from that one injury. And you're right. I mean, they are absolutely in trouble, and it's not because they're so bad either. It's just that Chicago and Green Bay just seem better.
Well, other teams are good, and they've caught up with them.
Go
ahead, Logan.
Yeah, the whole NFC is really deep in general. I mean, if the Lions were the AFC, they would be in a whole different story. It's why on the other side, teams like the Steelers, the Ravens, the Jaguars, they're not at the top of their division, or they're flip-flopping. They're still feeling comfortable because of how not as deep the AFC is, but for the Lions, they're sitting at 7-5, but they're third in the division. And right now, the Bears and the Packers both, I mean, they are clearly a step above the Lions as of right now. I mean, their offense and defense both are gelling. The Bears,
Logan, are the Lions gonna make the playoffs?
I think as of right now, no. I think the Bears surprised me by beating the Eagles. I thought, 2-3 weeks ago, okay, the Bears, they haven't played anybody. You know, they have a efficient offense. They have an opportunistic defense that's not very good, but opportunistic. But they were able to beat the Eagles at the Eagles pretty handily. And just like about 3 weeks ago, the Eagles were still my pick to go to the to be in the NFC Championship. Not anymore. I think the
Eagles are
Rams
frauds.
have that.
They're frauds.
Yeah.
It's just look. If you looked at that game yesterday, I mean, that's another game you watched where at no point did you think they could win at home, and just the number of 3-and-outs they had. I mean, I just don't see it. I think they're total frauds. But here's I know everybody's talking about the Bears. Here's a team that's streaking right now is Dallas. I mean, you watch that Dallas game at home. I mean, they score at will. That offense is unstoppable with Pickens and the other guy on the two you two wide receiver, two best in the league. You don't know who to cover. They have a run game, and I tell you what, Dak's tough.
No, Dak's playing. I mean, Dak is playing MVP caliber football, and that offense is some of the best offense in the past 3-4 seasons of NFL. I mean, the defense is absolutely atrocious. So I don't know how far they can get in terms of the regular season and also the playoffs. But I mean, if they can get that defense fixed in the next year or two, and they can keep that core on the offense, they are going to be scary because the tandem of George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb is absolutely, it's I don't say probably, it is the best wide receiver duo in the league, considering. Yeah. I mean, CeeDee Lamb's not playing like it this year, but he is, consensus top 5 receiver most times, and George Pickens is a top 5 receiver this year. So their offense alone could carry them into the playoffs.
Well, it's almost like the Bengals and the Cowboys are the exact same team, which is so crazy, especially when Joe Burrow's back, and then you have an MVP level quarterback over there. But yeah, you're right. And when you're talking about Dallas, Dallas, Kansas City Chiefs are in the same spot as the Detroit Lions, and they're fighting for playoff spots. There's just a lot of teams in this wild card mix, and Dallas comes in and wins 31-28, and that's why when we're talking about Detroit's going to have so many issues. You're going to have Dallas trying to win that division, so the Eagles drop down, or one of those two are going to be in the wild card mix. But it's the NFC West that has like 3 teams over 500. So you're going to, if you're a Detroit Lions fan, it's like you have to win that division, and I don't see a way for them to win it. But when you talk about the Dallas Cowboys, and when you have Malik Davis breaking off 43-yard runs on top of the wide receiver and the passing threat, that is a dangerous team. And all of a sudden the defense, with a couple acquisitions at the trade deadline, are bend but don't break. And they seem to be able to have a chemistry where they can beat anybody on any given Sunday. And I think for Dak Prescott, this isn't the first time we've talked about him in MVP conversations. He is just an elite quarterback. He is top 5. Nobody wants to talk about it, admit it. He has good receivers, but even when he doesn't have his top receivers, he is always putting Dallas in the mix. And John, it's scary. Like the Cowboys, if they get in, there is not one team that wants to play against that offense. You can't match up. There's no way to match up against them and stop them on a consistent.
Right now, they're the hottest team in the NFL as far as I'm concerned. But you're right. Nobody's going to want to play them in the first round. Not the way that offense is humming and the way Dak has figured it out. And the thing is, Dak, he's had his criticism, but if you watch him over the last couple of weeks, he is a precision quarterback. He rarely makes a mistake. Rarely makes a dumb move. He threw a couple interceptions the last two weeks, but when he's in there, you're going to get a game out of him. And all of a sudden, they found enough defense to stop somebody when they had to, which is what happened on I guess Thanksgiving afternoon. So great game though. Love what's going on there. And then of course, you haven't talked about the collapse of the Ravens. They got the Jesus kicked out of them.
When I woke up on Friday morning, the Steelers were back in first place. I was like, yeah, what's going on? And all of a sudden, Joe Burrow returns, and what he said was they're like, why would you come back? Your team has barely any chance. He's like, I'm paid to do this. I want to perform for the fans. That's exactly Michael Jordan's sentiment when they talked to him about playing every game in the regular season. You owe it to the fans, and it's so refreshing to have someone like Joe Burrow. And I hate the Bengals. As a Steelers fan, we hate them worse, right? There's just a bitter rivalry. There's always fights. The Ravens, it feels like there's more of a, kind of like ho-hum. Yeah, there's a respect there, but I like Joe Burrow. You can't, even if he's on my rival team, and all of a sudden they look like the Dallas Cowboys. Like they could make a run, especially in a weak AFC North, and with the Baltimore Ravens looking like the shell of themselves. Lamar Jackson looked scared in the pocket when he took off and ran. It looked like he was back to his old self for a little while, but then hesitating, running backwards. And Logan, we've watched a lot of Ravens. I mean, when you're a Steelers fan, of course you do. I thought for sure they would turn it on and just basically cruise to the AFC North title. Now, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, and the Bengals might.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming down to the point where this last back end of the season, the Ravens and Steelers play twice. That's going to determine the division, and those are going to be games that are going to be absolute cinema. I think, when you look at the Steelers and Ravens, they always split normally. But this year, you might have one of these two teams go 2-0 in that just to win the division. But another interesting thing that could happen is this could be one of those that first year that Mike Tomlin, loses his streak of over 500 record. However, imagine he goes 8-9 and actually wins the division for once. That would be crazy. But I mean, the Bengals too. I mean, like you were mentioning, they're very similar to the Cowboys, and their offense, especially now with Joe Burrow, is very elite. However, that defense is just putrid. But I think with Joe Burrow being back, they could make a run. But I mean, I can't lie. I'm thankful that Thanksgiving season. I'm thankful that the Steelers have already played the Bengals both, because if the Steelers would have to go to the Bengals or even play them at home, with Joe Shiesty in the backfield, it's a totally different game. And you saw that with Ravens. I mean, Lamar, he might be hurt. I don't know. He might be a little banged up. He does not look 100%.
Yeah, Trent, we were talking about the Bengals beating the Ravens 32-14, and against a putrid Bengals defense, they 5 turnovers, and all of a sudden, it looks like Lamar may have some more issues than we thought, John. I mean, he feels injured because we've seen him be amazing and be great, and when he's looking like that, and he's a humble guy, he's not going to just come out and like a hockey player, like I have a lower body injury. It feels like there's something going on there, because I don't think that he's hit that regressive gene yet in his playing career. I know he's an athletic quarterback and eventually that stops, but something looks a little off.
Oh, I think John is muted right now. Something definitely looks up. Yeah, something definitely looks up for Lamar Jackson.
He didn't play very well. I mean, the bottom line is he just didn't play very well. And I got sucked in. I've made a lot of bad bets in my life. That -8 game in Baltimore was probably up there in the top 5 dumbest bets I've ever made, and I'm man enough to admit it. I got caught up in the Ravens' invincibility. Have no defense, and they're at home, and it's Thanksgiving night, and there's 50,000 fans at MT Stadium, whatever it is. I mean, I got caught up in that. And then you really look back, and as my son said to me, who doesn't like the Ravens and told me to bet the Bengals, he's like, if you look who they didn't beat anybody. I mean, the Ravens didn't beat anybody. And now they go in, they're playing a first-class offense with Joe Burrow, and they got lit up like a pinball machine. So this is another team not very good, and there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of teams that are frauds because of a weak schedule. And we kind of thought that about the Bears until they came on Thanksgiving Day, or on Friday. But the Ravens, I just don't see it. I think the Steelers win that division. And to think that the Bengals could win it, right? Even if they won out, what would that give them? Nine wins, and they'd have to win out. And then how would they beat the Steelers? Who
Yeah, I mean,
beat
it would be, they would probably have to. They'd have to win the division. Yeah, so if the Steelers split against the Bengals and lose a couple games, yeah, they could be right. They could be right in that mix, and it's crazy. I think with all these top teams, you can almost argue that none of them have played great schedules because there's just not, especially in the AFC, there aren't a ton of great teams that have been consistent the entire year. So I mean, it's going to be crazy. And we talked about people getting banged up. I mean, that's just what happens right around this time. This year, you're getting into December, everyone gets banged up. They could probably use a little healthy spell. I mean, if we're being honest, John, I mean, like if you're an NFL player, you're trying to get through December, get to the playoffs, some healthy cell, maybe right what might be just what the doctor ordered.
Well, you got to get a good night's sleep. I mean, I slept last night 9 hours and 45 minutes. I mean, that is for a guy 67. That is what you call a good night's sleep, right? I think I went to the bathroom once. So, and I dreamed all night. So I get up today, I feel fantastic, getting a little break. And what is so fantastic about this is because what REM sleep does is it puts you to sleep immediately. Within 15 minutes, you're out. I'm telling you guys. Then after that, I mean, you are going to sleep through the night because it puts you in all 4 phases of sleep. And for a couple cents a day, that's really what it comes down to with my promo code for like 50 cents a day to get that good of a night's sleep. I mean, what on earth are you not buying this for? I'm just telling you, it is the best thing that's ever been. It's all natural. All you got to do is go to healthycell.com. I know I've talked about it forever. Just go buy it and then get a good night's sleep and feel better. Go to healthycell.com, healthycell.com. Promo code Godzilla is going to get you 20% off. You're going to get a great night's sleep.
9 hours and 45.
I need that.
Yeah, I literally got up. This is why I hate to host, right? I literally got up at 8:45 today.
Oh, and if my kids heard that you were 6'7", they would be going nuts right now. That's all the kids do now.
Why would they be going nuts?
You don't know the 6'7" trend? Just you Google it later. All the kids do the 6'7" thing. No one knows why. Some rapper came up with it. Every kid does it. At the West Virginia women's basketball game last weekend, they had like a 12:30 game, John, where they had teachers.
It was like 10:30.
10:30 in the morning, and it was full of all elementary kids. And we were stuck at 65 points. And when we scored 67, they stopped the game, and all the kids went 6'7", 6'7". Look it up. It's very cute, very annoying. I've chaperoned a few field trips this year. It is very, very annoying. And the parents try to take over the trend to stop it because we think, if we do it, it's not cool anymore, but they still do it. They still do it. All right, we're going to get to some picks in a little bit, but Thursday had a great NFL slate. Friday had a great college slate of games. And the first one that comes to mind for me is Ole Miss, Mississippi State. You've got Lane Kiffin, all the drama there. We talked about it last week. He is on his way to maybe a national title, definitely the playoffs. They're 11-0. They beat Mississippi State 38-19. But Lane's name is in the news for coaching prospects at LSU and previously Florida. Florida has now kind of taken him out of that as he's still going to be moving through the playoffs and so forth. And now Lane Kiffin is supposed to come up with a decision this week whether or not he's going to stay or go. Seems very much like that's going to be I can't imagine in that locker room. I mean, you're staying with the coach, you're being loyal, and all of a sudden he may, head off to another program. And we can mix that in there. First, Logan, it was a great victory, 38-19, solidifies their first 11-win season, and they're going to obviously have a great seed in this playoff and go on a run. But the bottom line is, Ole Miss is fantastic. It's great. You can obviously win there, but in the coaching lore and the minds of all these coaches, LSU just has a different vibe. I mean, for some reason, it just attracts a different level of coaching, even though I would rather be the best Ole Miss coach of all time, not like the fourth best coach at LSU. But Logan, what do you make of this whole situation? First, Ole Miss's victory to go undefeated, and then also Lane Kiffin, still the saga continues.
Here's my take on it. If you stay at Ole Miss, you could become a legend by not doing nearly enough is what you need to do compared to LSU. If you stay at Ole Miss, you probably don't even have to win a national championship to become a legend there. You can just win a couple of 10-win seasons, 11-win seasons like he's already doing and still be considered the greatest of all time in that area. However, if you go to LSU, you are just another coach in the system. If you have a couple bad seasons, you're out. Like look at Ed Ogeron. Literally won the national championship, is from Louisiana, has that accent. He was made for that job, and they booted him out. Now, I think not even 2 years after he won the national championship. For Lane Kiffin, he was in a bad spot in his career. Ole Miss took a chance on him, and he has made that program into what they are today. He has made it into a good job. If he were to leave, everything they would say to a future coach, like, look at these facilities we have, look at the recruits we're bringing in, the money that we're bringing in. It is because of Lane Kiffin. However, if Kiffin were to go to LSU, I don't think that I'm not going to say he would find the same success. However, it's not going to come as easy just because you have a lot more eyes on you and a lot more weighing down on you if you go to LSU. Now, back to the season at hand. Yeah, having a really good year. If he decides to stay at Ole Miss, I think they could easily make a deep run to win the national championship. However, if he leaves, probably a good chance they just leave him out entirely, which I think, especially with Texas beating A&M last night, that could be a real possibility. Yeah. But I mean, Lane Kiffin, one of the greatest minds that we have in college football, innovator, offensive minded. Me personally, I'm probably going to LSU. I just think that if you are in your industry, no matter what it is, you want to be at the pinnacle, and LSU is one of those spots. If you're a college football coach, you want to. One of those dream jobs is coaching at LSU. Yeah, it might go up in flames in a few years, but you don't know until you try.
Yeah, and I think one thing you know for certain, and especially if you're looking for absolutes, which there aren't many in life, you are going to have the resources to continue to build your program at LSU. Ole Miss, you're still going to have them as well, but you're right. Lane Kiffin has started that. He's brought in more sponsors, more alumni to come and help him out as well. And Logan, you brought up a great point, and Trent, I'll let you weigh in on this. If his leaving has impact on their seeding this year, then he can't go yet. I mean, he has to wait for those kids, for that program. Trent, and Logan, you brought it up a little bit. Lane Kiffin has gone ups and downs in his career. Right now, he's riding a high. Everybody loves him, from his radio spots to his national spots. He's so lovable and likable now, and that's different than what we thought about him 4 or 5 years ago. Trent, if he leaves Ole Miss high and dry, and it impacts their ability to make the playoff, is there any redeeming quality to that or him after that?
No, it reminds me a lot of Rich Rodriguez leaving West Virginia for the Michigan job. And I think what Ole Miss did, they said that they'll match the offer from LSU in Florida. I think that gives him a lot of incentive to stay at Ole Miss and build a legacy there, because it's no longer about the money. He's not chasing money. He's not just moving on at the next best offer. He has a chance to build something great at Ole Miss, and like he already has his recruits at Ole Miss. He's got a foundation started there, a culture built there. I think he'd be crazy to leave Ole Miss at this stage.
Yeah, and John, we brought up Ole Miss. They go 11-1 on the season. They beat Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl 38-19 yesterday. Now we're waiting on Lane Kiffin's decision. Basically, it's boiled down to just LSU, as Florida has taken his name out of contention for that head coaching spot here. And we were talking specifically, because Logan brought up a good point. If he does decide to move on, it could impact the selection committee's decision. But overall, what do you think of Lane Kiffin, and even considering this while his team is going on on this 11-1 best record they've ever had?
If he leaves and that affects their placement, it tarnishes his legacy for life. I don't know why he would do that. I mean, it's just icky. He's built up now such a great reputation. But look, the guy is a selfless he is a master self-promoter. And look, he's leveraged now where Ole Miss is going to have to pay him a crap load of money in order for him to stay. And he never said he was going to leave. I mean, it was brilliantly done by him and his agent. So as soon as Ole Miss said, I'm going to match your offer, why on earth would you leave? I mean, your family's there. He's got a daughter around. I mean, why would you leave? So I think he stays, but I think the way he played this was absolutely masterful. Uh, somebody like me comfortable with the whole nonsense he put on? No. But look, they're out for the money, and he played it beautifully. And so as soon as Ole Miss said, I'm going to match your offer to Louisiana State, why on earth are you going to leave? I mean, that was the whole objective of it, right? He has a good program. It's not like he's with a school that doesn't have the resources to compete. He does. So this was about money. He got it, or he will get it. And I think he's gonna stay. And the fact he said, I'm gonna make my decision by Thursday or something. The whole thing was played out masterfully to line his pockets. And good for him. I mean, it's capitalism. You got to promote yourself, and he's certainly done that.
No, and they know he's serious. I mean, and you're right though. To actually provide real leverage, you got to know that this crazy SOB is serious enough to leave a program that just won 11 games, and he is crazy enough to do that. And you're right. That's what I'm hoping. He promoted himself. He leveraged the situation. Stays at Ole Miss.
Say, I mean, if we all had to bet here even money, I mean, you could bet $1,000 right now he's going to stay. I mean, there's no day he's not going to leave when they're 11-1, and it can affect his entire legacy if they get bounced. I mean, the whole thing, and then the whole disruption it creates within the whole team. You'd never live that down, and I don't know why you would do that, and why you would do that to the fans at in Oxford and across Mississippi that have been so good to you. Like, why would you do that? So I just don't see it.
Oh, Logan, he's making it today. Okay, if we get this decision, we'll break it. We'll break it live here.
That's what it seemed. I think that's what I heard.
Yeah,
he wanted to be at his son's high school semifinal last night, and then today he was going. He said he was going to pray on it, and then make according to him, he had not made the decision at all. He didn't even know leading up to like last night he was going to pray on it and then decide this morning. But I don't know. I have a feeling that he probably had more. You got to make a pros and cons at some point.
Yeah, you got to do a list somewhere. You got to do your daily attributions. He's all big into that
something.
Now. Affirmation.
Look, it's all about the money. Right? At the end of the day, this was all about money. It was about money from the beginning.
God wants.
It was all God wants him to make more money, right? It's all about the money. And so, and look, I'm a capitalist, so I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know.
No, I mean, and you self-promoting yourself. I mean, you guys are looking at somebody that is not shy about self-promotion. I mean, I'm not shy about it. You got to do it. And so he's done it, and he's been successful with it. But I think he stays because otherwise, he's got kids in the area. He's got the son that's playing high school there, ball there, and you just don't want to put your kids through all that hate, which is what would happen. It would be a lot of hate there.
His daughter does date an LSU player, though.
Look at you.
Yeah, we all know that
over here.
Yeah, we all know that, but that's still they would have. I mean, the social media hate that will be laid on him. Why do you even want to do that when they just matched your money? Just take the money.
Yeah, and there'll be plenty of opportunity. He's going to be around for a long time. You're listening to the Godzilla Wins Saturdays pick show. We haven't done a pick yet. We're going to get to some college picks here. Yeah, and yesterday Georgia beat Georgia Tech. What else did we have? Utah wins, Arizona wins. So they closed their season strong. But let's get to some college football picks. We may have to go a little bit faster. I want to thank Jack for doing the production on this. And when Jack does it, because UNLV and Nevada start off. He did put it as a bonus pick, but we'll do it, even though I don't know if any of us know much about UNLV at Nevada. We have a UNLV is favored 8.5. I will let Logan start with this. Let's make some people some money. Get some money to buy some Christmas gifts as the next season is rolling upon us.
Yeah, I'm taking UNLV here. I mean, they've had a good year. Dan Mullen, his first year, has done a masterful job. UNLV is quietly becoming one of the best Power 5 schools in the nation. I mean, they're sitting near the top of their conference. I think it's I forget what it is. But it's them, Boise State. They're up there, and I mean, they've been playing good. And Nevada, I mean, I know they kind of got evaporated in the transfer portal. They haven't had a good year. They're 3-8. I'm taking UNLV here easily to wrap up their season and put themselves in a fighter's chance to make the tournament.
Yeah, and Trent Logan brings up a good point. The other teams looking in, like the JMUs of the world and stuff. This is a big game for them, for sure. They're going to be rooting for Nevada to get the upset. Do you think Nevada has any chance of pulling off the upset, or does UNLV continue their strong season?
I think you froze.
Oh, John, I'll kick that. I'll kick that to you. Do you think UNLV wins this one easily?
I like the dog here. I'm going to take the 8.5 at home. Wolfpack at home. It's going to be very cold there. Always tough to play in Reno in the winter. Obviously, Jack went there for his Masters, so I've been there a number of times. Tough place to play in the winter. This is a trap game because you look at it, everything points to the Running Rebels. They should win this game. They're a better team. They've had a good season. They're on the bubble. They got a lot to play for. They go to Reno. They play. If you've ever been to that stadium, it's in campus, but it's outside of campus, up on top of a hill. The wind blows there like you can't sit there. I mean, it's so cold in Reno in the winter, and and the team is really set up for that. Wolfpack has had some struggles this season, but I like Nevada. If it's certainly I think they can win the game. So I'm certainly taking the 8.5.
Trent, we got John taking the underdog, and he has some inside knowledge. It's been there. It's been the cold Reno. What are you thinking here?
I think Nevada has a slight chance to win this game.
Let's go.
I don't have my stats for me. I'm experiencing some internet issues over here, so I'm on my hotspot right now. So, but I think Nevada, it already dropped down to 7.5 last I saw. So I'm gonna roll with the under here plus 7.5 plus 8.5 if you can get it there.
All right. You know what? I'm going to go with the underdog as well. Underdog sounds like a fun play to start. You're up 8.5, 7.5 to nothing to start off your day. All right. Next game, moving on. SMU at Cal. Let's see where the spread is. SMU is favored by 12 and a half here. It looks like over under 52.5. May have moved a little bit. Logan, we're going to go with this one.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going Cal here. They just fired their head coach.
Right.
Not a very good football program. They're definitely in disarray. I mean, overall, SMU, they've had a disappointing season somewhat. They've lost some games where they probably would like to get back, but they're still a good team. And Jennings is a very, explosive quarterback, and they have a very high-powered offense. I think they're going to be able to go into Cal and take care of business pretty easily. Yeah, big spread at 12.5, but I think SMU can cover.
Yeah, it looks like it's up to 13.5. John, does that change your pick here?
No, I think Cal's done. I mean, it's not a bad coaching gig, right? I mean, the California Bears have got a lot of resources. They're a storied team. It's not a bad coaching job for somebody moving up for maybe a mid-major. I think this is a plum job. But right now, the team is falling apart. They have nothing to play for. They have no coach. They have nothing. And, SMU, I'm not a believer, but they continue to win. I don't see Cal winning this game. I'm going to lay the wood.
I mean, Trent, in a classic ACC matchup, SMU at Cal. I mean, what the hell? They're in the ACC? Like, I don't even get this. Okay, where are you going with this one?
Yeah, this is a system bet that I usually like to take. Unranked home against a ranked favorite on the road. I also like the narrative of head coaching changes. The teams usually rally around the new interim head coach. I don't necessarily love that here because there's just one game left in the season,
and they suck.
But yeah,
that's the other problem you got.
I'm gonna hold my nose and take Cal plus the points here and hope for the best. Hope the system pays.
That's a ballsy bet.
Logan, did I go to you on this one? I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay,
I said SMU cover.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm going to go with SMU as well. Yeah, Cal in disarray with losing their coach and everything. All right, Oregon at Washington. This is a huge game if you live in that area. Dan Lanning talks about it all the time. Like, he wins that game and he gets a lot more money from his donors, and they are always asking about Oregon and Washington. The line is 6.5. Oregon is favored. Over under is 51.5. Trent, I'll let you start here. What's going to happen at Husky Stadium today?
Yeah, this is another one just like the last game. A home underdog against a ranked opponent. I like betting a lot of the public likes to bet those numbers beside the team's names, and I like to fade that typically. This spread is a little close for my liking, so I'm going to take Washington plus the points here. But once again, I'll hold my nose, bet it, and hope it wins.
Logan, Trent's got a system. Are you going to go with this system?
I want to take Washington because I don't love Oregon. You know, they haven't impressed me entirely over the course of the season. However, looking back in Washington's season, they've handled a lot of teams, you know, scoring 40 points, 50 points, but when they played two competent teams, when they played Michigan and Ohio State, they scored 6 points and they scored 7 points. So I hate to be the thing, but you know, sorry.
Get you.
But
Get you.
I mean, you can see that when they play competent teams, they kind of struggle. And normally their offense is, you know, pretty high-powered, high-octane offense. However, Oregon is tough. Dan Lanny's going to have them go in there, and you know, chip on their shoulder. Somehow he's going to find a way to get a chip on their shoulder and still come out, get the win, take care of business, get ready for the college football playoff. Dan Lanny is not going to have this team lackadaisical come in here and, you know, not take this seriously. Get them ready, and yeah, get ready for the Big Ten championship and also the college football championship.
Yeah, John Logan makes a good point. I don't see them overlooking this or overlooking this squad, especially with the rivalry. What do you think?
I had a tough couple of days. A bunch of losers, not good.
Me too.
So I have got to turn it around today, and I'm going to start with Oregon -6 is my best bet. I got to start winning some games after just a horrible 2 days, Thursday and Friday. So I love Oregon -6 here. They're just, and I get Trent's system, but Trent, the problem here is they're just a superior team with a lot more speed. And as I think Logan pointed out, Washington played two good teams and basically scored a touchdown in each game. I don't think this game is going to be close. The Ducks are not going to risk their whole season to get beat in Washington. I just don't see it. And the Huskies, you know, I saw them play in person at Maryland. They actually won that game in the fourth quarter, but they're slow and plodding. They just don't have the speed. And so I think Oregon here is an easy bet, -6. I got to get off the schneid.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go with you here too. And I have had a bad couple days as well. I think Oregon.
Brutal. Brutal.
I know. In Saxman's little pick'em yesterday, I think I got 2 out of the 4, but I got crushed on the last 2, and I've got way too many units on those last 2. All right, UCLA at USC. We can be quick with this one. UCLA has one of the worst defenses in all of college. They are the most penalized teams in all of college. They are underdogs by 21.5. Logan, any chance you're rolling with UCLA here?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm gonna take USC. Lane Kiffin had a good season, you know, and I think that they're not going to ruin it by, you know, losing to a pretty mediocre UCLA team.
Trent, where are you going to go with this one?
Yeah, USC's offense is too good to not take them here. UCLA, like you said, UCLA's defense is not going to be able to stop this Trojan offense. I think you got to take USC minus points.
Yeah, and their offense looked pretty good in that loss to USC too. USC. John, what are you thinking?
Lincoln Riley is going to light it up. I think this is going to be an easy win. Normally in these kind of games, I don't like laying this number, this 21.5. Normally I don't like it, but UCLA had a couple nice wins there where they, you know, got the new coach in. But Riley's going to light it up, and I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas. So I like the Trojans here big.
I think I'm going to take the over on this one, over the 58.5. Yeah, I don't like the 21.5. But yeah, before we move on we're going to go rapid fire for some other picks. But John, we have one sponsor here, and it's honestly a product that I love, and I'm going to get and carry it in my car. I have 2 young kids. The Wellness Company. I want you to tell people about this because I think it's really important what they do.
Listen, a great Christmas gift for if you have adult children. Now, obviously, you know, if they're underage, no, but if you have adult children, one of the best things that you can get them is a medical emergency kit from the Wellness Company, because everything is right there at your fingertips. I've got one at the office. I've got one at home. Joe's got one. Jack, Claire. This thing is the best investment you're going to make because everything you need is in here. And if you're sick, you can catch it immediately because it's got Z-Pack, ivermectin, antibiotics. Everything is here for immediate There's a guidebook that goes with it. It's very easy to do if you don't want to subscribe to their doctors, which I do on FaceTime. There's a guidebook, tells you exactly what to do. You have to go through a doctor's thing online. They ask you questions, so you got to do that because these are prescription meds. But it's a new way to do medicine. You don't need Walgreens, you don't need CVS, you don't need Walmart, you don't have to go to the store. It's all right here, and you can get the medication you need immediately at its source. And I can tell you that Anna had COVID 2 times and knocked it out in a day and a half with this. And we were able to get back what we're doing. I've taken this, we've replenished this in our family 3 times. That's how much we've utilized it with tremendous success. Go to twc.health/Godzilla, twc.health/Godzilla. And if you buy this on Monday, here's the deal. Cyber Monday, if you buy this on Monday, you're going to get 20% off. Normally you get 10% off. On Monday, you're going to get 20% off. So an extra 10% off if you buy it on Cyber Monday, twc.health/Godzilla, promo code Godzilla, 20% off on Monday.
You're listening to Godzilla Wins Saturday Pick Show. I'm your host, Mitch Rogers, joined by Logan Powell, Trent Connor, and John Fredericks. All right, we got a lot of games left in 8 minutes to do them. I'm skipping the Notre Dame game. We know they're going to beat Stanford. All right, we're going to Miami at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh saves its season last year after getting blown out by the aforementioned Notre Dame Fighting Irish a couple weeks ago. They beat Georgia Tech pretty handily, saving their season, still in line for that ACC title. Logan, what are you thinking here? It's a pretty big ACC game, at least it's teams that are kind of on the East Coast a little bit, near that Atlantic coast.
Yeah, I mean, for Miami's sake, they need to win this game. I think for ACC stakes, I think they really want Miami as well. If Miami loses this, you're looking at potentially no ACC teams in the college football playoffs. So you might see a little, refs maybe biasing the Miami just a little bit. I don't know. But I think that Miami would take care of this. I think that Carson Beck, while I'm not a fan of him whatsoever, I think that he'll be able to take them into Acrisure Stadium and get a much-needed win that they need, and try and do everything they can to get into the playoffs.
I tell you what, Trent, when they figure out this transfer portal nil, they're going to have Carson Beck as that poster child of why we're making all the changes. How the hell is he still in college? And now he's on his fifth team. But what do you think is going to happen here? Miami, Pittsburgh, 6.5-point favorites, or the Hurricanes over under 49.5?
Yeah, Pittsburgh got that really good win against Georgia Tech last week, but the books are still hanging -6.5 for Miami. They're giving you the hook there. So that kind of makes me want to bet Pittsburgh here, +6.5. I think it's going to come down to a field goal, and I think Pittsburgh keeps it close at home here.
All right, John. Logan thinks it's a conspiracy. Yeah. Going Pittsburgh?
Yep.
Oh, I like that too. All right, I know I've got the team on my sweatshirt, but we'll talk about them quick. They're underdogs by 23.5 or 22.5, depending where you're looking. Texas Tech is going to visit West Virginia Mountaineers. West Virginia trying to finish off a season where they've come on kind of strong at the end, at least showing some potential. But Texas Tech has looked the part all season long. Logan, one of our best writers for WVSportsNation.com, with Morgantown in the background. Where are you going to go with this game? Any chance to cover?
I think so. I think that the Mountaineers. I don't see the Mountaineers not having a little bit of pride. They've had a much better end of the year stretch. Sky Fox looks like the guy. And I think Texas Tech's easily going to win. But I think that the Mountaineers are going to be able to cover. They're at home, final game. Crowd's going to be out there. Rich Rod's going to be pumping. Let's go.
Yeah, you're going to leave us the second hour to go to the game. So yeah, no. Yep. So you're going to bring us there. Trent, come on, man. 23.5. What are we thinking here? Trent, also one of the best writers for the same website as well. They're brilliant. Please go to WVSportsNation.com to read their work. Trent, where are you going to go with this?
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with this game. I did the game preview for it. So Texas Tech defense is a stifling defense, but I think West Virginia has a chance to cover this week with coming off a bye week. It's senior day. This is basically their bowl game. They have a bunch of seniors on the team. They're going to be playing as hard as they can because it's their last college football game. I think West Virginia covers this.
It's a tough game. A lot of students are still at home eating that turkey, especially when you only have a 4-win team. So home field advantage might not be crazy great today, John. What are you thinking here?
Oh, you got to bet the Mountaineers here. It's senior day. I mean, they've been competitive. I think they've covered 4 of their last 5 games or something on the spread. Yeah, I mean, are they going to win? No. And normally, as I always say, I never bet a team with the points if I don't think they can win. But here, look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna watch the game. I'm gonna root for the Mountaineers, and I think they're gonna play very hard today. And yeah, Texas Tech is the superior team. They should blow them out. But Rich Rod will find a way to keep in this game. I think they score a couple touchdowns and maybe get a backdoor cover. So I'm gonna take the 23.5. I can see a backdoor cover at the end of the game, winning this bet.
I do too. Yeah, I'm absolutely going to take the Mountaineers. Not on the money line, but I'm going to roll with the points, 23.5. Come on, a lot of surprise.
Come on.
I think we're
got to do it.
We're past the point of getting blown out like this. I think that's our next level of greatness. All right, we got 4 minutes, 4 games. LSU at number 8, Oklahoma. Spread is 11.5. Oklahoma is heavily favored here. LSU obviously in shambles, coaching and all that stuff. Logan, what do you think?
Oklahoma's on a high, stifling defense. LSU's offense has been pretty atrocious all year. Give me Oklahoma to cover.
Trent.
Yeah, LSU in limbo. Oklahoma at home. I'll take Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. John, are you going to go with that trend?
Oklahoma to cover.
All right, next one up. Oh, this fits Trent's system. Number 10, Alabama at Auburn. Alabama's favored by 5.5. Huge rivalry game, obviously. Trent, I'll let you go first. Are you taking Auburn? You using the system here?
Yeah, I gotta go with the home underdog, especially in a rivalry game. They're always close. These guys get up for these kind of games. I like Auburn at home here.
Okay, Logan, where are you gonna go? I hate that pick.
I like Alabama. I think they're just a level above Auburn enough, but I do think it's gonna be close. But as long as DeBoer is wearing his black sweatshirt, I think Alabama should be fine.
Yeah, all the Rodgers family, all the Birmingham kids are all wearing their Bama gear right now. Auburn, this is a hated rivalry, especially in our family, John. I hate Trent's pick, love Logan's pick. Where are we going to go here?
Auburn's going to win this game.
Damn you.
Auburn's going to win the whole game. I'm betting Auburn plus 5.5, and I'm betting the money line.
It's probably a good bet. I mean, these games are always close here, but I'm going with the Tide here. Roll Tide. Oh, you know what? It says number 2, but it's the last game, so we do have a couple minutes. Ohio State at Michigan. This is always a classic rivalry. We know what this game means to everybody. Coaches getting fired and so forth. Ohio State's having another great year. Seems like it's every year. They're favored by 9.5, but Michigan has been pesky, been stubborn. Logan. They're at home also and double-digit underdog almost. Something doesn't feel right. What are you thinking?
I mean, the Ohio State defense is just absolutely insane. It's probably the best unit in all of college football. Matt Patricia has transformed them. Caleb Downs is going to be a top 10, top 6 pick, I would say. I mean, being selfishly, I hope the Steelers get Matt Patricia as their defensive coordinator. But back to this game.
Like that.
I think that Michigan has the pieces. I think, Underwood has the pieces to be able to win a game like this. I just don't think he has it right now. But almost a double-digit underdog, I think that's still going to be close. Ohio State doesn't play Michigan very well. Ryan Day sometimes crumbles under them. I think that you see that again this year. And I think that while they may win, I'm still going to take the under here. I'm going to take Michigan to cover.
This is one of my favorites, Trent. I mean, especially around Thanksgiving weekend, just 2 blue bloods. The crowd goes nuts. I mean, but I think it's
WJFN W224EB 92.7 FM Chester, W299DB 107.7 Bon Air, 100.5 FM Goochland, and WJFB Portsmouth AM 1650.
All right, I like that. It's like the little 10-second. I used to put
make your pick. We got to get out.
Yeah, you do it, Trent. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I like Ohio State. Great teams cover, good teams win.
Nice. I was trying to wax poetically, John. I couldn't.
Ohio State, superior team, but Michigan at home, 100,000 people. I'm taking the 9.5.
Yeah, I'm also going to take Ohio State. And just like Logan mentioned, their defense is tremendous. All right, that's the first hour. We got our college picks in. Please stick around for the second hour. It's going to be all NFL heavy. We're going to go through all the picks and recap some of the action, especially the Chicago Bears-Eagles game. Be back right after this.
West Virginia Sports Nation gives you a top-of-the-mountain view of the Mountaineers sports landscape. See what's happening in all the sports, far beyond football, basketball, and baseball. Gymnastics, track and field, rowing, swimming and diving, golf, volleyball, tennis. More sports, more stories. If the Mountaineers play the game, WVSportsNation.com has it covered. Up-to-date and insightful articles written by Mountaineers for Mountaineers Nation. WVSportsNation.com. WVSportsNation.com. WVSportsNation.com.
The best part about waking up in the morning is a great cup of coffee, and I get this every day with my 1775 coffee. It's rich, it's bold, best tasting coffee I've ever had. Single origin, farmed in Bolivia, 7,000 feet. It's always fresh, roasted daily. This is the best coffee you're ever going to get. Go to 1775coffee.com, 1775coffee.com. Promo code Godzilla, 10% off. It's going to make your day every day.
You woke up with a sore throat and a low-grade fever. You know you are getting sick, so here's your choices. You can get sicker and miss work, try to see a doctor this week, or sit hours in a crowded waiting room at urgent care.
I have a smarter option for you. Open your medical emergency kit. Match your symptoms to doctor-recommended prescription in your booklet and take the right meds now and get well faster.
This is not a first aid kit. It's like having an urgent care in your home. It includes doctor-prescribed medications to treat over 39 medical issues like respiratory infections, strep throat, pneumonia, UTIs, and more.
No waiting to see the doctor and no standing in line at the pharmacy. It's right here.
Every home should have at least one medical emergency kit, and here's how to order.
Order online fast and save $45. Your kit with prescriptions to treat common and life-saving illnesses is rushed to your door. Visit twc.health/Godzilla. Promo code Godzilla. That's twc.health/Godzilla. Promo code Godzilla.
John Frederick, your Godzilla of truth, fiercely independent.
No ties to Wall Street. I promote Main Street.
The John Frederick Media Network, privately owned and operated, on top of the issues on air and online.
Trucking the truth every day for 14 years.
The John Frederick Show drives your morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern. The only independent White House correspondent with live reports from the White House. Hit JohnFredericksRadio.com. Watch at JFMN.TV. John Frederick, your Godzilla of truth.
Who's going to stop me now?
Nobody.
Did you know that somebody could literally steal your house? Yeah, that is a thing that happens. It is when a criminal forges your signature on one document, uses one fake notary stamp, and then spends about $30, $40 with the county recorder. They then take out loans using your home equity as collateral. And the worst part of it is, you don't even know it's happening until you start getting collections and foreclosure notices. Most people don't check on their home title because why would you feel like you needed to? But this right here is why you need to use Home Title Lock. They have a $1 million triple lock protection that helps keep your home and equity safe. It includes 24/7 monitoring with protection immediately, urgent alerts in case there's any changes in your title. Then if fraud does happen, they have a US-based restoration team that will spend up to $1 million to fix the fraud and restore your title.
Find out if you're already a victim. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now.
John Frederick, he's America's Godzilla of truth. All week long, he's world-renowned for his proficient proclivity to prophesy the people's political picks with pinpoint precision.
Yeah, baby.
Then, on the weekends, he gets with the guys that are pretty wise, and Godzilla wins. Godzilla wins, the sports picking show for winning dough. Money lines, parlays, over-under, the best plays. You choose the game, Godzilla picks the winners. Get expert analysis, exclusive insights, and have a little fun. When the game is on your mind and money's on the line, Godzilla Wins is your guide to picking winners. Godzilla Wins, on the screens of your TV and favorite devices, commanding radio airwaves far and wide. Before you make that play, hear what the Godzilla crew has to say. Presented by WestVirginiaSportsNation.com, it's time for Godzilla Wins, all across the John Fredericks Media Network. Oh yeah.
For entertainment purposes only.
Welcome back to the Godzilla Wins Saturday Pick Show. I'm your host, Mitch Rogers. I'm joined by John Fredericks. Want to thank Logan Powell for joining us in the first hour. Trent Connor should be coming back here. This show is brought to you by West Virginia SportsNation.com, and that's what takes Trent and Logan away from us a little bit, because they're going to cover the West Virginia Mountaineers, who are going to be playing Texas Tech in about 2 hours from now. Heavy underdogs on senior day, but this West Virginia Mountaineers team has looked great. But this second hour, we talk nothing but NFL football pretty much. The first hour, we did our college picks. We gave our picks of the day, and just want to hope everybody's had an amazing Thanksgiving holiday. Not only is it a great time to gather around with family and friends, it's also a great time to watch sports. Selfishly, it's one of my favorite sports weeks of all time, because not only do you have football, you also have hockey jumps out at you. If you like Premier League soccer or anything like that, it's just a fantastic weekend. And yesterday was exactly what that was. So Friday is a full slate of college games, but the NFL can't just lay and rest. They have to jump in there and have a game. So they also had a game at 3:00 yesterday, which was the Bears and the Eagles. That was coming off a Thursday slate of games that were truly remarkable. We touched on them in the first hour of the show, but those Thursday games where you had the Packers defeat the Lions 31-24, you had the Chiefs lose to the Cowboys 31-28, and you had the Bengals beat the Ravens 32-14, and all of these wins were just so impactful, and not to mention the Bears and the Eagles. Trent and John, yesterday we've talked about teams that are hot. We seem to have these flavors of the month in the NFL this year. You've had the Colts for a few weeks. Right now it feels like that's the Rams. But you have a couple teams that people just don't think stack up, despite what their record says about them. Chicago Bears have been one of those teams. They're up and coming. They've got Caleb Williams. Ben Johnson's their new coach, but they're winning. And all they do is win. And all of a sudden you've watched this Ben Johnson dude get some wins, never show emotion, basically no, that's what we're supposed to do. And you see, and then the people are like, he's a little prickly. I don't know if he's good. And all of a sudden you win, that perception starts to change. And then you get the signature win, one of the biggest wins Chicago's had in decades yesterday. And this Ben Johnson, who everyone thought was kind of, don't want to say prickly, we'll just say that, rips his shirt off in the locker room and flexes, and the team goes wild yesterday. The Eagles lose to the Bears 24-15. The Bears are 9-3, and John, they want the world to know they're for real. Are they for real?
No, Eagles are frauds.
No, I mean the Bears.
No,
Bears.
Eagles are frauds.
Oh, Eagles are frauds.
Eagles are
the Bears
frauds.
are good. Okay, I got you.
Look, they've played nobody. Okay, best team they probably played was Philadelphia yesterday, but I'm telling you now, this Eagles team, they're at risk to make the play. Dallas is going to win out. Okay, so this team is at risk. They showed nothing yesterday. That was one of the most pathetic performances I've ever seen. What, all of a sudden now we're going to win? Give the crown as Chicago Bears and anoint them for what? Right? They beat a team that is fraudulent yesterday on primetime TV. They ran the ball up their ass. That's all I can say. It was one of the most pathetic performances I've seen the Eagles since they became a relatively good football team. So we'll see what happens. They got to play the Packers 2 times. They got some really good teams coming up. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna hold the hype. They ran the football. I mean, this is the first time. Their defense has been horrible the entire season. All of a sudden they shut down a fraud clown show. We'll see what happens. I'm not ready to jump on the bandwagon, but I'll tell you this. I'm a Titans fan, and it gives me hope, because last season, what the Bears do? Win 3 games with Caleb Williams. Was his first year in, right? They got some good draft picks. They made some good moves. All of a sudden now they're 9-3. So it gives me a little bit of hope if the Titans can get the right coach, get another first-round pick, maybe we can compete next season. So that aspect of it gives me hope.
The Bears seem to me like if they were a team that we've seen like for many years, in their current setup. Like if it was the Eagles or the Chiefs, and they were 9-3, but didn't play, what they have to play whoever's in front of them, right? But Trent, this Bears team just seems to be getting better each week. And when you have a new head coach, new philosophy, they seem to be leaning into that. Caleb Williams is all of a sudden becoming a guy that's like, okay, I don't need to make this spectacular play every time. I've got a good running game and I can check it down. And then Ben Johnson rewards you. It's almost like, hey, do the right things and I'll reward you with some good plays coming up here. They just seem like an exciting team that gets better each week. I don't think they're fraudulent, but yeah, they're going to have to prove it down the stretch, especially.
I didn't say they were frauds. I said the Eagles are frauds.
Sure. No. And I mean, but the Eagles, they just beat the Super Bowl champs. I mean, so that from a coaching standpoint in their locker room, Ben Johnson's going to have them believing that they're for real. And
no doubt.
Green Bay next week, so that's going to be a real good litmus test for them.
We don't have Trent's audio there.
Well, and John, one of the best parts about this, and we talk about the new world of AI and analytics and all that stuff, and these teams get down. So they were down 15 points, the Eagles were, and there was a huge debate on when you go for a 2-point conversion. And so they went for the 2 on the first one. And so they're all debating it, but I'm like, you have to, right? I know if the equation is at 8 and 7, you're going to, on that first touchdown, go for 2 at that point, so you know what you need to do going up, right? If it turns into a 3-possession game.
I wouldn't have done that. I'd have kicked the extra. I'd have gotten within 8, because if they got the ball back and went down the field and scored, they got all the momentum. The Bears have been that means they would have been on defense for a long time. That wasn't that long of a drive that the Eagles had. I mean, I get it both ways, but I bet the Eagles. So the best I could do was win by a touchdown, right? So they had to tie it, and then you win by a touchdown in overtime, and I get my money back because they were -7. I didn't like the call. They had them as soon as they missed that 2, the momentum was gone. I mean, the game was over because now they were down by 2 scores. Where if they just go for 1, they're still within 8. It's a 1-score game. There was about 3.5 minutes to go. You kick the ball off, you stop the Bears, you get the ball back, you got a shot. And so that's the way I would have played it. But I see both arguments.
Yeah.
The problem with going for there, you miss it, game over. And that's what happened.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I believe we do have Trent back now. Bears, Eagles, Trent. We were just talking about that. And John wants to hold back a little bit, thinks the Bears are for real, but maybe not, as hyped up.
I agree with a lot of what John was saying. I think the Bears are on the brink of being an elite team in the league. I love the culture Ben Johnson is building in Chicago. I mentioned it last week about him coming off the field against Minnesota when they barely won that game in the fourth quarter. They blew a lead. He was fuming, even though they won the game. He is looking for excellence, which is what you love to see out of a head coach. And then they came back last week, beat Pittsburgh, and then they manhandled the Eagles. And I think a lot of that has to do with the Eagles being kind of fraudulent, like saying. Their offense just isn't clicking this year in terms of the Eagles. And I think the Bears offense is really similar to what the Lions offense was last year when Ben Johnson was there. They have those 2 really good running backs. They have a lot of weapons on the outside, and now you throw in Caleb Williams' ability to use his legs and run the ball. It just gives them a different dynamic than the Lions had with Jared Goff last year.
Yeah, it really does, and it's a great story. And now when you look at some of these Steelers losses, I like to bring it full circle back to the Steelers. They're not as bad, The Bears aren't as bad as we thought here. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, the first 4 games from the NFL, the slate of action were absolutely incredible. And hopefully tomorrow we'll bring the same thing. We're going to get to our picks. Remember, here we are a pick show, but for entertainment purposes only. So if you have any issues, just dial 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-GAMBLER. They can help you out. If you had what me and John have had the last few days, and now you're going to be trying to get it back,
Brutal.
Be careful. That's when you got to be careful. That's when you don't know if it's for fun or if it's for addiction. So calm down. If you're feeling the addiction part, 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, here we go. NFL picks, game 1. And we don't have Vince Mayoko, our West Coast guy today, but we'll do our best to represent his 49ers or that area. 49ers are at Cleveland. Cleveland, interesting team now. You look at the record, but they got Shador Sanders. You got Myles Garrett sitting on 18 sacks, trying to break TJ Watt and Strahan's all-time sack record, which he should probably obliterate considering there's 6 games left. You got the Browns. So the 49ers are favored by 4.5 here. The over-under is very low, 35.5. Yeah, did I have that right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I had it wrong on the sheet. Okay. All right. John, where are you going to go with this one? 49ers have been dealing with injuries to the best linebacker in all of football, but they've been able to get through quarterback injuries and have themselves at the top of the NFC West, or right around there, right below the Rams. What do you think they can do against the Browns?
They just keep winning. I mean, they keep winning. Injuries, not so that the team keeps winning. And look, it's, last week, Shador Sanders, the Raiders, it was kind of fun to watch. I mean, we turned it on after when the Eagles were up 21-0. I bet the Eagles. Joe and I were like, let's turn this game off. It's a blowout. We put on the Raiders game just to see what Sanders was doing. And then, all of a sudden we see a score. It's 21-14. We're like, WTF. So we turn it back. But look, Sanders is he an NFL quarterback? Doubtful. Now he's got to play a real team with culture, defense. This is not the Raiders. So I like San Francisco here minus I think it's going to go up to 5. I like it minus 5.
Trent, where are you going to go with this one?
Yeah, I'm not trusting Shador Sanders in this matchup, even at home. The Niners offense is somehow getting by they give McCaffrey 30 touches a game, which that's not really a bad game plan there. And I like the total in this game is kind of interesting to me. I like betting lower totals to go under. So I'm going to take the under and San Francisco to cover.
Yeah, I was about to do the same. That's my contrarian. When I see the lowest over under there, and that's going to lean most of the public or most of my friends that don't know what they're doing to bet the over, I like to go the under there too. For some reason, I think it's the under. But Shador, they at least open up the offense with him a little bit. So you're going to see some big play opportunities. But the 49ers just don't score a lot too. And obviously, when you give it to McCaffrey that many times, that's going to bleed the clock out a little bit. And that's a good game plan for success. All right, game number 2. I'm going to go with the 49ers as well. Game number 2, Jaguars at Titans. Jaguars are favored by 5.5. The Jags are doing what the Jags do. Look kind of good for a little bit, maybe a week or two where they're the flavor of the week. But Trent, they're 7-4. They feel like they're the same team every year. Not spectacular, but they're right in the mix here. It's a big game. They don't want to let down against the Titans team that's obviously struggling this year. And the spread's not that ridiculous. So obviously Vegas thinks it's going to be a little closer than some people think. Where are you going to go here?
Yeah, Tennessee showed a little momentum last week, but I think Jacksonville also showed some momentum with getting Brenton Strange back, their tight end, and the new addition of Jacoby Myers. He's finally kind of fitting into the offense. I really like those two pieces for Trevor Lawrence, but he's got to play a cleaner game. He makes a bunch of incredible throws, but then he makes some bonehead decisions sometimes. If he plays a real clean game, they get behind the Travis Etienne at running back. I think they cover this game pretty easily.
I mean, John, you got a receiver over there. How do I say his name? Shamari DK? Is that
DK? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's 1,700 all-purpose yards. Cam looks like he's developing a relationship with them. And look, hey, you can't expect the world when you have a rookie quarterback, but they're getting better as the season goes along, John. That's got to at least excite the fan base a little bit.
Yes, it's they got a lot. A lot of their veterans got hurt or got traded. Obviously, they were unloading money, and the season was over early. So they tanked a little bit here, and made some good moves. I mean, veterans that that had no future on the team. They got a 7th round or 6th round. They got something, right? Beats what they did with Derrick Henry, which they didn't get anything. So I think they're making the right moves. They got a lot of young players. You got to love Cam Ward. You look beyond the stats and you watch the games. Unfortunately, like I still do, like an idiot. I do watch all of his games, but he's an exciting player with a great future ahead of him. So I think this team they're getting a little better every week. They're getting a little more competitive, but I don't see them winning any more games. Maybe they beat the Saints, which I hope they don't, because I want the 1st round pick. I don't see them winning this game. You remember the last 2 games they covered on a backdoor cover at the end of the game. both times. So, you know, I mean, Ward is like, okay, the game's over. You're going to give me soft. I'm going to go down the field and score a touchdown. He's done that 2 weeks in a row to cover. Could happen again, but I like the Jags here, minus a 5.5. Jags are not going to lose this game.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Jags as well. Next game is actually a really good game. We've talked about the Colts. You know, a couple weeks ago, they were considered the best team in football. They've regressed a little bit here. Houston has showed some signs of life, above 500 record. The Colts are favored by 3.5 here. So Houston's rolling over to Indianapolis. Trent, where are you going to go with this one?
Yeah, the Houston's defense is really playing well over the last several games, but the one weakness they have is against the run, and the Colts have Jonathan Taylor, potentially the best running back in the league. He's got 17 to. I think Jonathan Taylor has a real big day. Probably scores 2, if I had to guess, and I think the Colts roll behind Jonathan Taylor and cover this game.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones, he's kind of regressed a little to the mean here. He's getting pressured more than anybody in the NFL in the last 4 weeks, so they're starting to see that. But I think they can probably, Steichen can game plan for that. What do you think here?
Well, the flip side of the Texans is they don't score. So the problem is if Indianapolis gets ahead, this game's over. I mean, if it's 17-3, turn it off or go cash your ticket because the Texans are not going to come back. They don't have the firepower on offense. So I think the Colts are really pissed off over that game they blew in Kansas City a week ago. They're really pissed. They should have won that game. They had an 8-point lead with 4 minutes to go. That was a game they should have won. So I think you're going to see a very angry Colts team coming into Indy. There's a big game for them. Conference game. I see them winning this game and the cover. Colts.
It's weird that CJ Stroud is back and they could be worse at quarterback. That is kind of weird and kind of telling there as well. Yeah, I'm going to go with the same with you guys. All right, New Orleans at Miami. The Miami is favored by 5.5 here. Two teams that have just kind of had the same trajectory. You know, not really going to do much, but they kind of lurk around for a little while at different points of the season. Trent, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, Alvin Kamara is out for the Saints, which is a big blow for them. He got hurt early last week. And I believe Miami's coming off a bye. So I'm going to take Miami. I think Jalen Waddle has a pretty decent game as their lead receiver. The Saints really just don't have much to play for. I think Miami covers here at home.
Yeah, John, with Kamara out, I mean, it doesn't feel like the Saints feel helpless right now. What do you think?
Can you believe we're sitting here on, what is it, like November 30th? Or what's today, the 29th?
29th.
And the Dolphins are still in the playoff hunt. Can you believe this?
It's weird.
They're actually in the playoff hunt. If they win this game, they're still on the bubble. I mean, it's incredible. So I got to go with the fish here. And look, I hope the Saints win. The Saints need another win so that we can get the first round pick. So go Saints. But also, I got to win a bet. So I like my Miami here at home. Without Kamara, the Saints just don't have anything. My fear is the game before the last game of the season, the Saints go to Tennessee. They go to Nashville. My biggest fear is Nashville wins that, Titans win that game, and then because they beat the Saints will get the first pick. That's my horror show of the season. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm with you as well. I think Miami pulls this one off as well. But yeah, when you're worried about the pick like that, and that happened, who did that happen to last season? What happened to you all last season? There was the Jets.
We got the first pick.
Yeah, you got the first pick.
The Jets. That somebody won like the final, like the game
Texans
before the
won.
game.
I think
It was some upset. Who was it?
Yeah,
I think the Texans won a game last year to propel someone into the first overall pick.
Yeah, that was us. So we need the first pick again. And if you look back in history, I couldn't find a time where a team got 2 first-round picks in a row without a trade. I couldn't find that in history. This would be the first time, I think, in history that a team got the first-round pick 2 straight seasons without a trade.
That's so crazy.
That's how much we suck.
That's absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. And a game that might be the low-rated game of the day, the Atlanta Falcons are at the New York Jets.
Oh, God.
Back to Kirk Cousins' show. He's somehow just keeps sticking around, making a ton of money in this NFL. The Atlanta's only favored by 2.5 here. I'm probably not going to watch the game. I don't know if I'll touch the game either, gambling wise, Trent. But if someone wants to, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, Drake London's out for the Falcons, I believe. So I expect a lot of Bijan Robinson. And I don't like either side in this game a whole lot. My lean would be Atlanta. I do like the under in this lower total. I would play the under and not even watch the game.
John, you don't play over under, so if you had to,
I'm betting the Jets. I'm betting the Jets. I just can't bet Atlanta. I just can't bet them. Jets are at home. At some point in my lifetime, the Jets are going to have to win another game. So I'm going to go with the Jets here.
That's true. That's true. I like that, but I'm going to go with Atlanta. We'll see how it is. I'm not touching it though. But if I'm on like a little sheet or thing with Saxman stuff, I'll put Atlanta on that card right here. So, and obviously we have a great weekend, a great slate of football games. But if you're out and about and want to do a little bit of gaming, I mean, right down the road here in Dumfries, Virginia is a great place. Rosie's Gaming Casino. John, tell everybody about that.
The best. Look, it's the best casino in America because it's got the biggest payouts and the biggest jackpots. I mean, it's as simple as that. You go to a casino for two reasons. You go to have fun, right? Ann and I and Joe are going today to MGM, watch the games. As I don't play table games, I just go there and watch football. So Joe and I go in there with Ann. He's over 21. Joe and I are going to have lunch, watch all the games. So you go for two reasons. You go to have fun and you go to win money. That's why else would you go to a casino? You don't go in and say, I'm going to lose. You go in and say, I'm going to win and have fun. And that's what Rosie's affords you because you got the highest jackpots and the highest payouts because they have the lowest takeout of any state government in the United States. So that means more of the money that goes in comes back to the players, which is why it's a great atmosphere. And their VP of marketing, Nate Mize, he's figured this out. He's got a very different atmosphere. This is not like you go to the casino, they pump in the oxygen, it's all dark, and they got the cocktail waitresses coming around with that cheap stuff. No, it's a very good way to have fun, right? There's no smoking there. There's only a certain section for that. So you can't smoke in the main casino. He's made it where you really, really have a good time. And the food is fantastic. The atmosphere is great. There's upstairs. You can bet the football games. You can bet OTB wherever you go. So all you got to do, win money, have fun, great date night. This is the other thing. Got a significant other, great place to go, great place to have fun. Obviously, you got to be 21 or older to play the games. But all you have to do is go to rosiesgaming.com, rosiesgaming.com, and shout out again to VP of Marketing Nate Mize, who has made this thing very special. And they're all over Virginia. Doesn't matter where you are, they're within a quick drive. Just go to rosiesgaming.com.
Yeah, rosiesgaming.com. You're listening to the Godzilla Wins Pick Show on this beautiful Saturday. I guess it's Saturday with all the holidays. I don't even know what day I'm in. It feels like it's just been so much fun every night, hanging out with friends and family, and now we get to hang out with you, and it's just special. Want to shout out to all the listeners and viewers. I'm here and again, go to rosiesgaming.com. All right, we have a few more NFL games to get down. The next one on our docket is Arizona at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is favored by 3 points as of the sheet. We can update that. Over under 43.5. Tampa Bay, they've been struggling. They lost a couple games in a row. Their defense has played poorly the last 3 games in a row, but they're still in first place. They have a half-game lead over Carolina. They're playing for something, and Baker Mayfield feels like it's a storyline every year. He's injured. He's hella injured, and he's still playing through it. He's one tough quarterback. You're going to have Jacoby Brissett starting for Arizona again for Kyler Murray, who looks cooked as a goose over there. But the spread doesn't seem as large as I thought it would be here, Trent. Both teams trying to avoid 3-game losing streaks. Do you think Tampa gets it done today?
Yeah, that showing last week was not it didn't inspire me at all to bet Tampa Bay here. I kind of like the Cardinals. I like what they're doing there in Arizona with Brissett at quarterback. I think Marvin Harrison's back this week. Trey McBride, and now Michael Wilson's come on. They got 3 really good receiving options there, and I don't think Tampa Bay will be able to corral them all. So I like the Cardinals here, and I also like the over in this game.
Yeah, John, it feels like Arizona hasn't quit. Whether it's Jacoby coming in, it's sparking some new life into them. And just like Trent brought up, and they have some amazing weapons. And when they're all on the field at the same time on offense, they're dangerous. What do you think?
I love Arizona in this game. I love the Cardinals. I love the fact they had the balls to move on from Kyler Murray. And I was look. I told you from day one, if you don't work, you can't play at this level. The kid, he's got all the talent. He just didn't work. And so they finally had to just move on. And it took balls, and now they're done with it, right? That sometimes you just got to pull the trigger, not look back. I think they've done that. And Brissett has inspired this team a little bit. They got a lot of weapons, and Tampa Bay's on the down. They're on the downside here. Mayfield is hurt. Their defense is atrocious. They got injuries all over the place. Carolina's got a hell of a shot now to win this division, oddly as it may be. Even the Falcons, if they win out. So Tampa Bay's in big trouble. Arizona comes in here and wins the whole game. Inspired team. And hand it to their coaching staff for keeping this team interested and playing authentic hard football down the stretch. I think every year we say next year is going to be the Cardinals' year. I'm going to say it again. Next year might be for the Cardinals because they finally moved on from a quarterback that didn't have the work ethic to be a standout in the NFL.
No, and talk about and with Baker Mayfield as well. I mean, I think Baker bounces back, leads this team. They have just such a great opportunity. Carolina's playing the Rams today or tomorrow. They should lose that game, statistically speaking, and a real chance for Tampa to get a game and a half lead here. I don't think they blow it. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay here with the points. Next game is the game I was just talking about. You've got talk about flavor of the week of the season, perhaps. I mean, it was Tampa to start the year, but now undeniably it is the Los Angeles Rams. Carolina playing really well, 6-6, half game out of first place, but it's these Rams. They're the talk of the town. They're the talk of the West Coast to the East Coast. I don't care where.
Let me start. Okay. If you bet NFL football, you understand letdowns, you understand traveling, you understand, you can't win 17 games. Only Miami did that one time. This is the biggest trap the Rams could ever fall in. They're playing a team that is playing better with a decent defense at home. They got to fly across the country after a big win, a blowout win last week where everybody is anointing them NFL champs, Super Bowl champs, best team in the history of the league, etc. This is where you get the letdown. There's no way I would lay 10. I'm going to take Carolina. I wouldn't be shocked if they won this game. This is the way the NFL is. You get these letdown weeks, and gamblers get caught in it. 10 points here is way too many. Carolina is going to compete in this game. They're now playing for a division title. You think about this. All of a sudden, Bryce Young is playing for a division title. I think they're going to come out. They have a better defense that meets the eye, and I just see a letdown trap game here. I love the Panthers plus 10.
Trent, you've got Matthew Stafford with 27 straight touchdowns, no interception. He's trying to break that record. Bryce Young, you just mentioned him. He is a roller coaster in himself. 2 weeks ago had maybe one of the best games of his career. And then last week against the 49ers just looked like that quarterback that we see too often from him. So does Bryce bounce back this week with the chance to take the lead in the division potentially? It does have a great setup for a trap game, Trent. What do you think?
Yeah, the Rams are rolling right now. The Panthers coming off a pretty letdown loss on Monday night against the Niners. What Dave Canales gave Rico Dowdle 6 touches or something like that. Like what is he doing there?
Yeah.
J.C. Horn, their Panthers' best cornerback, is out for the game this week. I'm Devontae Adams to score the first touchdown. But all that being said, I love the Panthers in this game. It's like John said, the 10 points is too much. There's going to be a little bit of jet lag going across the country. It's almost too easy to bet the Rams, so that's why I love the Panthers.
I know it feels too easy, but I don't know. I'm falling for it. The Rams, I just don't think they're going to be trapped. I don't think they're going to be let down. McVay's got this team. Stafford's
Mitch is falling for the Rams hype, baby. Let's go.
They're my flavor of the week. I'm going to go with the Rams -10. Oh, that is tough even saying it. Oh, Lord. All right. Moving on to the next game. You got John's favorite quarterback with the Minnesota Vikings at Seattle Seahawks, who sucks for them. They're just in the same division as the Rams. They could be 1A and 1B as best teams this year. Similar line here. Seattle is favored by 11.5, but they are at home. So that's not the same kind of flying across the country. Trent, what do you think here? Does Seattle roll all over these hapless Minnesota Vikings?
Yeah. So McCarthy's out for the Vikings. I think Max Brosmer, I think's his name, rookie quarterback, starting for Minnesota. So if you're betting Minnesota, you're betting on a rookie quarterback who hasn't really had much playing time. So I would take Seattle in this game and hope that he doesn't turn out to be the next Tom Brady.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I just took a -10. Am I gonna take a -11.5? John, what are you doing here?
So the last time I bet the over-under was Oakland Oilers, and I bet the over. It was like 40-something, and Oakland won the game on a Monday night, 7-3. Okay, with scores at the half. I never bet an over-under again. I think I was 17 years old back then. I never bet a total since that game. I'm going to break with history and bet my first total in 50 years because I'm 67. 50 years, I'm betting the over in this game. Neither team is going to be interested in playing defense. I think Minnesota's going to score. I think Seattle's going to score, and I'm going to bet the over.
I've been on the show for a
break with tradition after 50 years and bet the over.
There's been an over-under on this show. I know. We get producer. We're going to find it.
Not that I actually put money on it. I might have given one.
That's true.
But I'm actually going to bet. This is the first time in, think about this, 50 years that I have bet a total, and I'm going to bet it tomorrow.
And it was Warren Moon
on this game.
Who was it for the Oilers?
Dan Pastorini, I think, was still the quarterback, or Stabler or something.
Hey, no, we were all
17. I was 17, so take 2025 minus 50. I don't know how many that is. 1975.
Yeah. Wow.
I was 17.
Yeah. Dude, that used to be the old AFC Central, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna go with Seattle -11.5. I just don't think Minnesota can do anything with this game. All right. Next up is a huge game. When you looked at that, we talk about this AFC playoff bubble, and I know Miami's on there. You see the Bengals and the Browns, but I don't think you can really have much hope when you also see the Chiefs and the Bills also on the same playoff bubble. So if you don't have a chance to win your division, it's going to be a hard time getting one of those wild card spots away from those teams. But one of them that might be trying to do that because the Pittsburgh Steelers currently leading by a half game, but that goes back and forth depending on what the Ravens decide to do. Buffalo looking for a get-back game. They're at Pittsburgh. Buffalo is favored at 3. It's a rare home underdog for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers, you don't know what you're going to get each week. I honestly believe that they are just a slightly above average team. Every game they've lost, they have been leading at some point. And when you go and look back on some of the losses now, they're not so bad. The Bears look pretty good. So the Steelers, you don't know which team is going to show up. Buffalo the same way. And Trent, you can run all over Buffalo. That seems to be the secret sauce, especially those outside zone read runs. And the Steelers major in those. I think they try to run and shorten this game up. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you just said. The Steelers are home underdogs, which I love. The way to beat the Bills is by running the football, and the Steelers are a hard-nosed football team, and they will run the ball down your throat if you let them. Kenneth Gainwell's coming off a pretty big game last week that kind of went under the radar. He had over 100 scrimmage yards. Jalen Warren's been pretty good out of the backfield, especially down near the goal line. I like I'll give a first touchdown pick in this game. I'll give Kenneth Gainwell to score the first touchdown. I like that. Steelers to cover, and I'll take the over in this one.
Yeah, Trent, I know that everyone loves Jalen Warren, and Jalen Warren obviously is a more complete back, probably more of a feature back role, but you can't deny Kenneth Gainwell's importance, especially how good he is around the red zone and how good he is at catching the ball. And he's also great in pass protection, which Aaron Rodgers, who is going to be back for this game, still hurt. He was a full participant in practice the last couple of days, so that's a good sign. But he's going to want people in there he can trust. I like the Gainwell first touchdown here. John, the Steelers. Now you own some radio stations around there.
Come on, baby, let's go. Steelers.
Come on, what are we thinking here?
NFL Network. We are the NFL Network carrier of the Pittsburgh Steelers. We carry them in every one of our stations. We love the Steelers. Shout out to the people I work with there. Amy Smith is my little godsend. So thank you, Amy. I know you tune us in. You're the best. We just got Saxman 4 tickets, baby, to the Bills game. He's taking his fam. That's why he's not on today. Going to the Berg. I love this game. I love the late afternoon games in Pittsburgh. I love them running the football. Hey, how much money have you met betting against Mike Tomlin as an underdog at home? Hello, not a lot of money there, right? Right? The Steelers, with all the abuse you Steelers fan give your team. I mean, they're still in first place in the division, and they're going to win this division, and they're going to come out Sunday at home. Terrible towels, baby. Steelers are going to win this game. Buffalo now becomes at risk too not to make the playoffs. So it's the craziest season ever. And let me just give a shout out. I just got to say it every week. Bless his heart, right? Got to give a shout out to the NFL Players Association for having the vision to go to a salary cap back in the day, and their player representative Gene Upshaw got the players to agree to it. He said, for the long-term game, everybody will make more money. Everybody will be successful. This is the way to go. It took balls. He got it done. Thank you, Gene Upshaw, for making the NFL, giving them parity like the NHL has. This is going to be a great week in the NFL. Thank you, Gene Upshaw. Go Steelers.
Yeah, and I've been talking about it, but there's these teams go on hot streaks, and it feels like some of these teams peak early. That's if you wonder if the Rams are peaking early or if the Colts already peaked too early. The Steelers, they've beat a lot of good teams, and they do have bounce back games like when they destroyed the Colts. If they get some turnovers, and all of a sudden, if they could somehow pull this off this week, and then you get a beleaguered Ravens team next week, the Steelers win those two games. It's undeniable. You've got to do that. And John, to your point with the parity in the league, some of the table fodder that we were having was what was the last great team before the salary cap and the parity, and we were talking about the 91 Redskins. That 91 Redskins only allowed 6 sacks all year. They had backups for backups that made the Hall of Fame. That Joe Gibbs knew how to do that to compete in that old NFC East. They stacked, and then it felt like in the mid 90s.
Well, that's why we got to bring the Redskins name back to Washington, and we're going to be working hard to do that.
Absolutely. So yeah, I love it too. Pittsburgh 4:30. The sun's going to be setting right when they kick off.
It's going to be wild. It's going to be cold. It's going to be wild, and Saxman's going to have the time of his life waving them towels.
Yeah, you're right. 4:30 games in Pittsburgh are just fun. All right, we're going to go to our 10th NFL game. We got the Las Vegas Raiders. Who knows who you're going to get with them? Geez. At the Los Angeles Chargers. Who knows what you're going to get with them? The Chargers feel like a team that should be great. You got the good coach, you got the good quarterback. They are heavily favored. They're favored by 8.5 here. Las Vegas. What can you say? I want to root for
lay the points. Stop. Lay the points.
Laying the points, 8.5 here.
This Raiders team is so bad.
Yeah,
they just fired Kelly. Yeah, it's horrible.
Well, in this parity league, John, how come there are certain teams, Cleveland Browns, Raiders, that can never figure it out? They may go to the playoffs one time.
It's bad. It's front office. I mean, you look at the Titans, and you look at the cornucopia, the plethora of bad draft picks we've had. Except for Jeffrey Simmons, Derrick Henry, and Cam Ward, just one after the other, they blew high-level picks. They just didn't have the front office. John Robinson was a disaster. I mean, it comes down. Look, you have a salary cap, but you still have to have competent people. You have to have leaders within your organization that are not doing dumb things and that can see talent. Titans haven't had that. Raiders haven't had it. I mean, I kind of feel bad for Pete Carroll because, he got talked into Brian Kelly. That was a disaster. Carroll's 70-something years old. It's like, I look at him on the sidelines. I'm like, dude, what are you doing there? Go play with your grandchildren. Like, why are you there? This is going to be a nightmare.
Ashton Genty, and he's like 6th in the NFL, but they have the worst rushing attack in the NFL. Like, yeah, they're just hapless over there.
One person in my family, and I can tell you who, says he deserves the debacle that's going on in Las Vegas because he's a total libtard. So he deserves it. Just saying. Not going to say who.
I remember we could probably rewind the tape. I remember when Pete Carroll was hired. I think I was on that show. I'm rolling with the points here. 8.5 Chargers. I feel bad for Vegas. I have friends that are Vegas fans. We want Vegas to be good. It's fun. It's a good city. It's an event, but
they suck.
Unfortunately, they're not. And the Chargers need to do something. And I think they do it here. And I'm going to take those points as well. All right. Let's get to another game. Is this our Sunday night game already? Wow. Okay. Denver is at the Washington Commanders. John lives in the area, is going to MGM later. I'm sure you'll see a lot of Commanders, even Redskins jerseys, Rigo jerseys. You'll see them all today, John. 1 year ago right now, this was the happiest town on the planet. This is a great football city, especially when they're winning, especially when that stadium is back in DC, which it's going to be happening pretty soon. And we talk about those windows. Like last year, they rolled to the NFC Championship game, and you never know if you're going to get back. And that's how they treated that opportunity, because seasons like what's happening now can happen. Jaden Daniels out for the year. They barely had Terry McLaurin. They barely had any wide receivers. Their defense was decimated. It was already lackluster on that side of the ball, and they aren't sniffing anywhere near the playoffs. They're facing a team in Denver, Trent, that could be the best team in football right this second. The line, though, is only 5.5. Trent, what is Vegas? The Raiders. What's the other Vegas? Trying to tell us with this line.
Yeah, the prime time spot, home underdog, and the Broncos are night and day. They have been all year. They'll score 0 points the first 3 quarters and score 30 in the fourth. They are the least consistent team in football right now. And you got Marcus Mariota for Washington coming out with I think Terry McLaurin's back this week. I like the Commanders in this primetime spot. I feel like everyone's going to be on the Broncos. So I'm gonna be a contrarian here and take the Commanders.
No, I mean I feel it. No, I feel it too, and I'm the same way. When I look at up and down, a pick sheet, I try to do my own spreads first, and when I see one so far off, and I definitely had Denver 10, something like that. They've won 8 in a row. They're going for their 9th in a row. But again, every team in this league goes up and down, and it's a holiday weekend, feeling of, but it's not, John. It's not a good home field advantage in Commandersville. It'll be a lot of Denver fans. I just don't know. I feel like, I'm going to load up Denver. I know Vegas is trying to get me to do that. John, are you contrarian here, or do you think Denver rolls?
You want to bet Marcus Mariota, really? Is that who you're going to bet? The only shot that Washington has to stay in this game is Scary Terry is back, and he is one of the best wide receivers of football. But is Mariota going to get him the ball? This is a sad state of affairs for Washington. And one of you guys said it about a month ago, and you were right. Their defense was old last season. It got a year older, and they just don't have the speed. They're not getting to the ball. This is an aging team, and without Daniels, the other thing is you got to remember that Eagles game last year. They had 5 fumbles. They had 5 fumbles. Yeah. If they had 2 fumbles, they win that game and go to the Super Bowl. They had 5 fumbles, all of them while they were driving. So this is a different team. But having said all that, why is it 5.5? No quarterback, no defense, team's out of it. Why is this game 5.5? Why isn't it 10? Just for that, I'm going to bet Washington.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, and it'll be neat to see what Dan Quinn or I know a couple of the beat reporters or former beat reporters, just to see how he's going to keep the locker room, because there's still so much hope and promise. This is a team. Yeah, they only have 3 wins this year, but you're still coming back with Jaden. So you go, hey, we're going to do some free agency. We're going to get a good draft pick. This is all about next year right now, but you
need to take a breath. Yeah. All your Redskins fans out there, and that I continue to call them the Redskins, and I'm going to try to get that name change back when they get the stadium here in DC. But all you Redskins fans, just breathe, okay? Breathe. Wheels came off the season. You still got Jaden Daniels. You still have the core of a good team. You're going to pick pretty high in the draft. You're going to make some trades. Your defense is aging. Going to have to fix that. But just breathe. This franchise is going to be fine. And I think a win here at home kind of changes everybody's outlook. And how many of these games can Denver keep winning? How many can they keep winning? I don't know, but we'll see what happens. I don't think this is going to be a blowout.
I don't think so either. But I'm still picking it. I'm going to go. Oh man, I'm going with Denver.
You're going with Denver. You're going with the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
You're like Vegas's dream child, baby.
Here's what I'm thinking though. I'm thinking Denver on their flight is just comfortable. Like they may have all bought My Pillows and put them underneath their head while they fly over to the East Coast. Tell all our listeners.
Hey, all I got to tell you guys and gals, Christmas is coming, and the best thing you can do is go to mypillow.com. Promo code Godzilla. You're going to get the best deals. Everybody in your family under the tree should get a pair of My Pillow slippers. Everybody, they got men's, they got women's, and I got them on right now. Right, I got up at 8:45 today. Right, brush my teeth, comb my hair, what I have of it, and put on my Pillow slippers. Right, walked over to the studio, got on just about in time. It's all you have to do. These things are so comfortable. And you can wear them outside because they got the hard sole. So they got inside is comfortable, outside is comfortable. And the thing is, I put them right by my bed, and Cat sleeps in the middle. So I got to deal with that. Put them right by the bed. The clock goes off at 4 a.m. No, I don't want to get up. I want to hit the snooze button. But I look over and I see, there's my Pillow slippers I can slip right into to go to the bathroom, and then I do my 75 push-ups, and I'm good to go. Best thing you could do. There are all kinds of cool stuff there. Robes, everything. It is Christmas for My Pillow. Go to mypillow.com, promo code Godzilla. Get all the deals. You get the robe. They got a special on towels now, and the slippers, $39.99. You're going to save $100. That is the best Christmas present you could buy. Everybody in your family, they're going to love them. Go to mypillow.com.
My dad was hyping up My Pillow slippers on Thanksgiving, by the way.
Oh, your dad was?
Yes, he was. He's got a. Well, he's got a pair, but he wants to know if there's another promo. Like I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's $39.99 right now.
Right, we told you. Watch the show.
I told you, Father. $39.99. It's the best deal you're going to get. And sometimes you go on there, they won't have your exact size. Just get a size bigger, or get the wide. I mean, it's because they're slippers, not like you're putting on dress shoes, right? And I like them a little bit bigger anyway, but you're good to go. MyPillow.com. Let's go.
All right, you're listening to the Godzilla Wins Saturday Pick Show. John puts on his slippers, gets here barely on time. First of all, you've given me heart attacks. The first hour, you showed up while I was in my intro, and then the second hour, I started by myself. I thought I was Colin Cowherd for a second. I was going to go. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was like, oh my God.
We throw you in the fire, Mitch.
Awesome.
This is good training. We just do. We throw you in the fire for when you're going to have your own show.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Remember, get on mypillow.com. All right. We got one game left that Trent might be kind of excited about. New York Giants at the New England Patriots. Another spread that doesn't seem big enough. New England has won 9 in a row. I can't remember when they had their last loss. Maybe it was against these Steelers, but it's been a long time. It's been a long time since New England has been on the other end of a football game. The Giants at New England at home. New England is only favored by 7 here. Giants bring back Jackson Dart. Sometimes I feel bad for Jameis Winston. Sometimes plays a great game, Trent, but Dart's the future, so you got to bring Dart back in. I think it's a good move here, but Vegas also likes it too, because I think if anybody else was in, you would see a double-digit spread here. What are you thinking? Oh, we'll let you come. We'll let you come back, John. What are you thinking here on this one? 7 seems a little light for me.
I mean, you look at this Giants team. It's weird. You know how many games this team could have won, right? I mean, they got what do they have, Mitch? 4 wins?
Yeah, 2. Only 2. They should have. Yeah, but they should have at least 5 or 6.
They should have 5 or 6 wins. I mean, they've blown these games.
They were the flavor of the week for 2 weeks.
Like the Denver game. I mean, and then they've been competitive. This is the good thing about the Giants. You bet against them, you lay the points, you lose. They've been competitive. They should have won the Denver game. They crushed the hapless Eagles. I mean, they won a couple big games, but they've lost a lot of games in the final couple minutes. And this is another one of these trap games. But New England is smelling it. They're smelling the division. They're smelling the first round bye. Can you believe this team can get the first round bye? I mean, they are right there. And I think Buffalo gets beat in Pittsburgh. They're going to have like a 4-game lead. That thing's over. It's a big game for them at home. So I'm afraid of the Giants, keeping this game competitive. I'm afraid of the -7, but the Patriots keep winning and their defense is stellar. And Drake May throws these long dimes. I've never seen it. It's like Jaden Daniels in 24. That's what he reminds me of. Daniels would go back to pass with somebody deep, touchdown. I mean, it didn't matter who. Threw everything on a dime. So as much as I like the Giants here, I gotta lay the 7. I think the Patriots are going to be the number 1 seed and get the bye.
No, and I just got a little tidbit. Yeah, the 7-point spread. 2 offensive starters for New England on the offensive line are out, so that's why the line kind of moved back there. But you're right, though. If you're a Giants fan, at least it feels like you've been here before. You've lost 6 in a row, interim coach, don't know what your future is, but at least you have the quarterback. I mean, so if you're a Giants fan right now, there's at least hope and something to play for rather than watching, Russell Wilson or whoever you just had in there. At least there's a future. At least there's a future there. But yeah, something feels off with this one. I can't do it again. I'm going to have to go Giants +7, I think, on this one. Like I've been taking the points on these and going against you guys too much. I'm going to go with the Giants +7 here, and I'll be looking out just to see how Jackson Dart, comes in. And you do feel bad for Jameis. Man, he's so close to being a good quarterback. He just can't be consistent enough you can't trust him to lead your franchise. But man, when he plays good, like I think the Steelers only have like 1 pass play over like 40 yards. Winston had like 4 last week. Last week. I mean, and I'm glad he's turned his arc in his career around and all the bad publicity he used to have back in the day. Wow, we actually got through the picks. We never get through the picks. That's what happens when they have 4 games on prior to the Sunday games. But you've mentioned a couple of best bets. What's your best bets for Sunday, do you think?
Carolina +10, Cardinals +3.
I like the Steelers.
And the Steelers. Yep. Steelers, Cardinals, and Panthers are the 3 games that I'm going to bet.
Yeah, and for today's action, I'm not kidding. West Virginia doesn't get blown out anymore at home, everybody. Take them +23.5.
You got to take them. I mean, look, they get a touchdown, you're in the game. They get 2 touchdowns, you're in the game. I mean, they get a field goal, you're in the game. And their defense under Allen, what's his name? They're playing better. And this is it for them. This is their last game, and win or lose, I don't think they're going to win the game, but got to give a big shout out to Rich Rodriguez, to Ren Baker for bringing him back. I mean, Ren Baker is the athletic director of West Virginia. Guys, they need to sign this guy to a long-term contract because he's got women's basketball winning, men's basketball winning, volleyball actually won a couple of conference games. He's got everybody winning, and the baseball team, I think, has a shot to go to Omaha. We'll have to see. They got a lot of portal players. That's kind of Saban's deal. So you never really know. But on paper, I mean, he's got it going on. And Rodriguez just had a great season. If you're a Mountaineers fan, you got to be pumped.
Yeah, I got some recruits coming in. Another best bet. We did not touch this one in the first hour. I think Tennessee shows how fraudulent Vanderbilt really is. They're only favored by 2.5. It's at Tennessee. Load up the Volunteers. They are going to throttle their rival in Tennessee over there in Vanderbilt. That's my other best bet. All right, I want to thank everybody that was on the show today. We had Trent, John, Logan was on earlier. They're going to go cover the West Virginia game. We are brought to you by
This is WJFN, Goochland, Bonaire, Chester, and WJFV, Portsmouth.